Welcome. Today we will discuss about the courage. Sometimes you just need to be brave. If you act soft all the time, people find you fragile and try to break you in every possible way. As we know, all straight trees are cut down first in the forest. To live in society, we need to be harsh, or people take advantage of our softness. Have you ever been chased by stray dogs? The more you run, the more they chase. Only the way to scare them is showing some courage and stepping towards them. Once you stop and move towards them, they get scared and move backward. Also, the ferocious animals like cheetah, tiger, and bear get scared. Actually, all living beings get so frightened of other more enormous beings. That is because of a default application downloaded in our subconscious mind and the fear of death. We all living creatures want to live a total length of life for as long as possible. As a result, when we sense we are in danger, our default function starts reacting and thus, activates the mode of fight or flee. By default, flee is the safest and easiest one. So, we prefer running away from the danger. This is the nature of our innate instinct. Fight mode starts when flee does not work, but fight mode does not last long unless there is a practice of courage in life so often. A dog that is aggressive most of the time has a high chance of scaring more giant animals like a tiger than a dog that is docile by nature. Being courageous is a higher energy level state. This is why it is not easy to sustain at that level all the time. On the other hand, we do not require to be courageous every step of our life. We should definitely avoid aggression as much as possible, but we should never delete it forever because anger helps bring up the courage. Courage without rage is like a car without fuel. We should not destroy the anger, instead, we need to control it. When something is under control, you can bring it to use whenever you want. If you completely destroy it, theoretically, you will run out of it. But there is no way that we would be able to annihilate anger anyway. Some people may have an enormous level of patience. However, if one is provoked enough, he will get mad. We need to train ourselves to amplify our anger and use it in the right place in a proper way. When you are spiritual and saint by nature, you may not be bothered by many daily issues, but there are some inhuman activities by seeing which your opinion may change. If you look at the history of Sanatana Dharma, you see many sages have picked up weapons to save the innocents. If meditation makes you a coward, you are following the wrong methods. Of course, meditation makes you more tolerant, forgiving, and caring, but everything has a limit. You feel it when the boundary is crossed. Most people suffer because they do not dare to take action at the right time. We are controlled by our fears, a fear of losing something. Fear does not allow us to be courageous. We must overcome our fear to be free. When something terrible is happening in society, we don't dare to protest it. We are scared to speak the truth against some influential people. We consider ourselves weak when putting ourselves physically into the fights to save somebody else. We tend to be wise and avoid such commotion. Everyone has at least one opportunity to demonstrate personal courage in his lifetime, but most of us ignore it for our safety. The courage I am talking about is something life-saving or taking or at least doing something risky to bring change but not daring to approach a pretty girl or act of bungee jumping. For example, you saw a group of men attempting rape to a minor at midnight in an isolated place, and suppose that you do not have a cell phone. What would you do as a spiritual person? I know all of you think you would intervene. But thinking and doing are different things. The thing that makes a difference in them is courage. If you have real courage, you will put yourself in danger to rescue the girl or at least do not flee from the sight. It is easy to imagine, but when it comes to our own life, we tremble. In reality, most people ignore the scenario and flee from the sight. Until it does not happen to our family or us, we prefer ignoring the situation. We do not get mad when the problem is not hurting us, and we are not a part of the issue. If there is fear instead of anger, how can personal courage sprout? There is a story of a Gurkha soldier, Vishnu Shrestha, who fought 40 robbers to save an 18-year-old girl from being raped. He only had a Nepali knife with him to fight against 40 robbers and their rifles. It happened in September of 2010 when he was returning from India to Nepal on the break. He was a soldier in the Indian Gurkha regiment. When the robbers intruded on the train, he was asleep. All passengers were already looted, and he was ready to hand over his belongings to robbers too. Suddenly some of the robbers grabbed an 18-year-old girl in a rape attempt. Then, he decided to fight against the group of 40 men. They shot at him but missed him. He severely injured many of them. Finally, robbers gave up and started escaping the scene. 6 of them were arrested. Vishnu received a medal for bravery. This incident also tells us that courage is driven by anger. If there was no anger in him, he would not be motivated to fight. A soldier without rage is like a snake without venom. His wrath did not show up until robbers intended to mistreat a girl. The courage I am talking about definitely promotes bravery, but it contains violence in it, and that violence is inevitable for the welfare of many innocents. Some incidents are not like getting slapped on one check and putting forward another. Suppose person A attempts to rape or murder, and you saw it at the right time. You do not have time to call anyone for help, but you can hit the guy from the back. Will you hit him? It may kill the person. No matter what, it is violence, whether he kills someone or you kill him. You may get away from the legal issues for defending the victim. What does spirituality say about this? This is not a question from today or yesterday. People have always asked such questions in the history of spirituality because the philosophy of spirituality and meditation sometimes seems to be tricky and contradictory, if not understood completely. In some cases, we are advised to take action and, in some, just to view the world with drastabhava. But when a person has a better understanding of philosophy, he will know what to do. A book was published in 2004 on the Mahabharata, Volume 7 by Fitzgerald James. He showed in his work that in some situations, following violence is the best way to prevent the greater violence that can take the lives of many. In such a case, not killing someone may lead to a greater catastrophe. He mentioned, tradition teaches that the fault in killing one who should not be killed is the same as not killing one who should be killed, Fitzgerald, 2004. Arjuna had the same dilemma, Bhagavad Gita, why kill his own relatives? Krishna advised him that killing is the duty of soldiers, no matter who is standing against him. So, Krishna suggests that we should be Dharma Yoda, a person who performs his duty at any cost. Mahatma Gandhi said, ahimsa, non-violence, is an ideal which it is impossible to realize to perfection. It may be possible to realize it in thought, but not always in action. All religions and cultures teach us to be sympathetic and caring. They also talk about God punishing the sin committer. Sometimes, we do not have enough time to wait for God or anyone to punish them. We have to move forward and do what is right. My intention in this chapter is nothing else but to make you feel okay if you injured or killed someone who is attempting rape to your daughter, sister, or mother. Meditation has to give that physical and mental power to protect one's family and himself. Your wife/husband or daughter/son should feel safe and protected when you are around. Thank you for watching.